I'm calling the regular board meeting of the Ross Valley Sanitary District of June 17th, 2026 to order. Can I have a roll call, please?
A point of order for the board. Director Meigs has requested to participate in the meeting remotely based on the Brown Act allowance for remote participation under just cause circumstances. Just cause may be invoked in circumstances of caregiving responsibilities, contagious illness, disability-related needs, or traveling for agency business, and does not require public disclosure of location or opening to the public.
Is she in the Zoom yet?
Yes, she is.
I don't see her on my screen.
Okay, join as panelists.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Can I have a roll call, please?
Director Meigs, is there anyone over the age of 18 in the room with you?
No.
Okay. So, Pam, is that you saying you're in attendance?
Yes. Yes.
Lori?
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you, directors. Please note that if there are any votes this meeting, we will do them by roll call.
I'm waiting for the roll call.
Thank you. Director Meigs?
Here.
Director Silla?
Here.
Director Kelly?
Here.
Director Gaffney?
Here.
Director Borstein?
Here. And now if I will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Thank you. Is there any public comment? Anybody, there's nobody in the room. Is there anybody on Zoom that would like to make a public comment on items not on the agenda? Laura Lee, there's nobody on the Zoom. Okay. With that, I'm going to adjourn to the closed session. And so we are now adjourned.
Isn't there 4 people on the?
So we'll need to, do we approve the agenda?
We didn't approve the agenda. You want to approve the agenda first?
Oh, let's go back. Mary is pointing out that we did not approve the agenda. So may I have a motion to approve the agenda? Move it.
I'll second.
All in favor? We'll do a roll
Aye.
call. Sorry, roll call.
Director Meigs?
Aye.
Director Silla?
Aye.
Director Kelly?
Aye.
Director Gaffney?
Aye.
Director Borstein?
Aye.
Thank
Okay.
you.
With that, I'm now closing it to adjourning to the closed session. All right, I am reconvening to open session, and I'm reporting that we gave direction to staff. So on the next item, well, wait, first off, I know we approved the agenda. Does anybody want to change anything, or are we good? We're all good. Okay. So the committee and representative report out. Tom, do you want to do the final?
Join as panelists.
Yeah, I'll do the finance committee.
Okay.
Our guests are pretty early in the agenda, so we don't need to change it.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Finance committee met yesterday, Doug and I, and we reviewed the monthly financial reports, which look very favorable. Our revenues are slightly above project
And then join.
and, should finish out the year.
Great. Thank you.
Projection slightly. And then we reviewed again, this time the final budget and consideration of adopting the annual appropriation limit. I really encourage you to look at the financial report. It's quite good. There's an excellent section on the district's risks and our approach to project risks, and along with lots of other information, but it's quite a good document, and we'll go over that again. And then we discussed, which we discussed at a previous meeting, the salary and benefit schedule relating to reimbursing for carpools and commuting.
Yep. Okay.
And
We
I'll
did.
report that the district is in excellent financial condition.
Excellent. Excellent condition. Okay, Pam, do you want to do the North Bay watershed?
No, because there was not a meeting.
Perfect. Great report. Thank you. Absolutely flawless. Central Marin Sanitary District, Andrew? No, let's,
There hasn't been a meeting since our last meeting.
okay.
Actually, there was. Wait, you spoke at the last meeting.
No, we had, since then, we had a special meeting.
Is his audio on? I can't tell it.
Oh.
I would be hearing it in my ears.
Oh, that's right.
I think, Michael, you and I spoke in the Woodlands parking lot.
Yes.
All right, how does this sound?
That's perfect, Andrew.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Andrew Poster, your member at large. Yeah, we weren't supposed to have a meeting. There was a scheduling issue with staff at Central Marin Sanitation District, so their or agency. So their next meeting is actually scheduled for next Thursday instead of last Wednesday. Or Tuesday, but regardless, they did call a special meeting a couple weeks ago, which was a little bit odd. I didn't know about it. Michael clued me in on it the Friday beforehand. So it was a special meeting called because at the previous meeting, one of the commissioners was not able to make it, attended remotely, legally, and so forth, read the statement, but it turned out they didn't take a roll call. So they wanted to have us all come back to have a roll call on one of the particular votes. We continued the vote the same way. It was actually on the budget. I voted no on the budget. Michael voted yes. And then also they had a special closed session, and they thought that they didn't need to invite us or especially see if we could make that meeting because staff had heard that we weren't going to be attending. Michael did read a statement regarding how we as members of the Ross Valley Sanitary Board recognize the matter in the closed session is RVSD's pre-litigation, so we respectfully are going to step out of this meeting of our own accord, and we think it's the right thing to do.
Okay. Thank you. That's it, right? Okay, thanks, Andrew.
So question like procedurally, all board members are not required to be notified of, okay.
Oh, no.
I mean,
Yeah, no
what are
kidding.
the legal requirements for letting your own board know that you have a board meeting?
Well, not only that, Mary, usually the alternate delegates get it. So I usually get everything from them as well.
All right, looks like Austin has something to say.
Notice should be provided to the directors. I mean, it's in the agency's interest to be able to establish a quorum. So notifying members is an important part of that. But there's not actually a specific requirement in the Brown Act to directly send updates aside from the general notice requirements of posting an agenda for a special meeting 24 hours in advance.
I'm inclined to say that's something we ought to raise, that that there was an instance where a special meeting was called and that the Ross Valley representatives were not notified of that meeting in certain contexts. Does that make sense? Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Verbal reports by the general manager, Steve.
Unmute there. Did that work?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, President Kelly, board members and staff. I've got 5 items to give you a quick update on here on the June 17th board meeting. First, regarding our dispute resolution process under the JPA with CMSA, Section 19A meeting has been scheduled with a neutral third party on Thursday, July 2nd at 2 or in the morning. So we'll keep you updated on how that process is going. Second, the Larkspur Landing property, the negotiations with Brookfield Carmel over the disposition and development agreement, also known as the DDA, they're proceeding. We've received comments from them on the draft DDA and are in the process of responding to that. We are getting close to the end of the due diligence period, but we're still in discussion with the developer about whether or not to extend it. So that's not a done deal yet, but I would just say that the negotiations are going along well. Good questions being raised, and we're finding a way to see eye to eye as we get through this. And we'll keep you updated on how that's going.
Excellent.
The third item is, as many of you know, the Fairfax Capacity and Creek Crossings project, which the board approved a contract to be awarded last month's board meeting. That project is moving along. There was a dispute by one of the contractors that had bid on it. A bid protest had been filed, but we did respond, and there's been no further protest from that contractor. So the project is moving ahead. I believe even today we had a notice to proceed was officially given to the contractor. And the first day of construction is next Monday, June 22nd. And the encroachment permit with the town of Fairfax has been obtained. We're working with them on the fee because there's a little bit of misunderstanding of what parts of the project were actually in town right of way. So we're going to be able to reduce. But with the initial fee was pretty high, and we're finding ways to get it back to a more reasonable level. So that's proceeding along. So anyway, oh, and then I would be remiss not to mention and thank Phil Benedetti for attending. I think it was June 3rd, and also 3 of the board members that are here, and
I'll talk about that
Felicia.
briefly.
And so at the town's request, we did put a presentation together for the town council meeting this month for the town of Fairfax. This follows on to similar meetings that we've put on with the Chamber of Commerce. So of all of our capital projects in the last 8 years, this project, we've done more public outreach in advance of the project than any other project. So I want to thank Phil Benedetti and all of you for attending the town council meeting. And I've heard only good things, so I'm sure you'll have more to say. My fourth item is with regard to the Oak Hill housing development proposal that is on the easement for our major force main on state property, and some stories that were in the Marin IJ. We reached out to Matthew Heimel of the Marin County Public Financing Authority, which is the sort of the local government proponent for the Oak Hill Affordable Housing Project. And we also met with Bruce Dorfman, who's the developer. And in essence, this was a good faith follow on to, we were concerned about new information that was disclosed about impacts to the force main that was not disclosed during the CEQA process. So we want to work together as fellow local governments, serving the public. And so we're working to try to find a path forward, a win-win outcome. We expect the county PFA will respond to our letter, but we're working on engineering solutions to be reviewed. I'm in touch with the consultant that did the routing study for the Fairfax project, HDR. They're interested in helping us with a routing study for the force main to answer questions about, RVSD ratepayers and how, what, if any, additional burden may be placed on them based on this housing development proposal. So we just want to get some facts in front of both of us, and we're moving forward with that effort. And finally, fifth item, we just learned, was it yesterday? I don't know. I'm kind of losing track, but of time. I think it was yesterday. We learned that Jason Freed, the executive officer of LAFCO, has announced his last day will be June 30th. We were working with him fairly closely on this consolidation committee. But Jaron Siebel has been the deputy executive officer for the last at least 2 years. We've worked with Jaron, and we worked well with him on several projects. So he'll be taking over after June 30th. So we don't really expect any disruption in the momentum on the items with which we're working with LAFCO, which include this consolidation committee, as well as the efforts to annex the San Quentin Village Sewer Maintenance District. So just with that, letting you know the latest news that we received, but we think we're full steam ahead on all the work we're doing with LAFCO. And that's all I have. Happy to answer any questions.
Yeah, what did you say that Jason Freed is leaving?
June 30th.
Is he retiring or?
He got a new job.
Pardon me?
He got a new job.
A new job.
Okay. All right. verbal reports by board members or requests for future agenda items?
No.
No. Pam? Okay, I do want to kind of report on the meeting in front of Fairfax. First off, I want to point out that we gave Fairfax two $3,000 lateral grants. So we gave them $6,000. Also, at that meeting, which Phil did a great job. In fact, Mike Gierangelli said, "Thank you for a thorough and long presentation," but it was thorough. I was there, Pam was there, Michael Bornstein was there, Felicia was there. And I did respond to, I think it was Councilmember Kohler's request that we put this off for next year because there's so much work being done. And I pointed out that we're under a cease and desist order and that this is the last project and it was scheduled for last year and that we're going to be moving forward with it. I said, I understand your feeling, but this is something we've got to do. That was a great meeting. Phil did a super job. Very happy. Okay. Consent calendar. Anybody want to pull anything on the consent? Any public member want to pull anything on the consent?
I'd like to pull the A.
Okay, Tom, what do you want to talk about A?
Well, it's the very last page, board packet 8. And Marin wasn't sworn in, I was. The minister.
That's right. So we'll make that change.
Nugget just to check if we were
Okay.
reading.
Good for you.
Good job, Tom.
Okay, with that change, can I have a motion?
I move approval.
Second.
All right, moved in second. Can we have a roll call, please?
Director Meggs,
Yes.
Director Silla,
Yes.
Director Kelly,
Yes.
Director Gaffney,
Yes.
Director Borstein.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to conduct an interview and considering appointment of a member at large to the Central Marin Sanitation Agency. My old friend, Kathy Schaefer.
Thank you, President Kelly and members of the Board of Directors. I would like to introduce this item by saying that in December of 2025, the Board of Directors of Ross Valley Sanitary District appointed its first member at large to the CMSA Commission, to Andy Poster. And he has been serving alongside Michael Borstein, the CMSA Commission, since that time. And Director Gaffney has continued to serve in the Finance Committee. We have another interested ratepayer resident, Kathleen Schaefer, who's interested in a similar appointment as a member at large to the CMSA Commission. Kathleen, Dr. Schaefer, I should introduce her as a resident of San Anselmo. She's a retired floodplain manager, a registered civil engineer, and she's here to introduce herself. And her letter of interest and resume is included as an attachment to the staff report in the board packet. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you all board members for the opportunity to come before you today. I appreciate it very much. Looking forward for the opportunity to participate. As Felicia mentioned, I am a resident of San Anselmo. I've been a resident of the Ross Valley for 20 years, and most recently in the home that I occupy now for the last 12. And I think it would be a great opportunity to give back to my community, to participate in whatever role I can. My specialty is in floods and flood management, but kind of ancillary and sort of relevant to some of the conversations and some of the work that you do. My dissertation is on insurance, flood insurance. So it involves a lot of risk management, a lot of statistics, a lot of big data computations. So I think maybe those are some of the skill sets that I might be able to bring to the conversation. I have just, or am just about to conclude 1 year at the Marin Civil Grand Jury, and I just would like to note that there is a grand jury report on special districts that has just been issued that I think you will appreciate because it is kind of supportive of some of the work that you're already doing. And I will be on the grand jury again for another year, hopefully studying some issues that that may need to be resolved. So if there's any, I'll put a plug, if there are any issues that you would like the grand jury to review, you can submit a request to the grand jury to perhaps look into those. And then just the other sort of commentaries that I look forward to, helping in any way with hopefully my talent or my expertise to give back to the community. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Kathy. We did get copies of the grand jury report, and there'll be an article in the IJ, I believe, tomorrow. So that's great. Questions, comments?
Well, I have a comment.
Hold on, Pam.
Your resume is quite impressive, and I just have a measly bachelor's in civil, and you've got a PhD in that. And I think your experience is, in many ways relevant, especially your public outreach work that you've done. And that's something that we're going to embark on, in the near future for a specialty project. But we do really work hard on, public outreach. And so I appreciate your interest in the district, and I think you'd be a great asset for us.
Thank you. Yes, I welcome the opportunity to do public outreach that's something that I did for FEMA. The other thing that I did when I worked for FEMA was to, as you can well imagine, when you come to a community and you go before the city council and you say, I'm from the federal government and I'm going to put your entire town in a special flood hazard area, it can be a little bit contentious, but I'm happy to say that virtually every time it resulted in collaborative and better arrangements. So, yeah.
Pam?
Thank you.
Hi, welcome. Is it Kathy? You like that?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I have a couple of questions. I have more questions, but I don't know if there's time. But a couple of things that I think are important to me and maybe others is, it's been throwing around about recycled water in our county. And would you support a toilet to tap project if it came through, it'd be big funding probably. And then my second question is your thoughts and feelings about the Larkspur Landing property.
To answer your first question, I would absolutely be a proponent of the tap to toilet, although they really call it that anymore. But I'm a strong believer in one watershed, one water. And so those kinds of things, anything that we can do in that arrangement, I think is a real positive. And there are some real success stories on sort of how you market that and how you present it to the public. And so we could learn. I could help point you to the direction of some communities that have done that discourse really well. And I'm not too familiar with the Larkspur property, so I'm afraid I probably can't weigh in at this point on that. But anything related to a one watershed, one water sort of thought and position would be something I would advocate for.
Thank you.
I'd point out, as just a point of order, MMWD is the only authorized agency to sell water. So if MMWD isn't involved and on board and okay, it ain't happening. So it's really an MMWD. The board members of CMSA have always been shown a willingness to cooperate and work, but it's got to come from MMWD, not anybody else.
Welcome. Thank you. We really appreciate your willingness to serve. I would just say that floods and the CMSA treatment plant have more to do with each other than you may understand yet, because that's precisely why it's as big as it is, because of the inflow and infiltration that takes place. We have most of CMSA is underutilized, except when we have the big floods that we have. So I think your background is fantastic, and just bringing more technical folks in to the CMSA governance structure can only help. So thanks.
Thank you.
Oh, I did.
I just, thank you for being here. I'm very hopeful that in the future you will want to be on
the board here, and part of the whole deal is this board is, let's see, putting it nicely, we're aging out. And I'm always a little bit surprised when nobody runs against us. And so here we are again for another term, but that will stop at some point, and to have people who are knowledgeable about what we do here is terrific. Thank you.
Thank you. I
And I
hope
think,
that's the
I
case
think the
too.
grand jury said basically a little bit the same thing, like it'd be really nice if you term limited out.
Yeah.
That was in their report, Michael.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, all right. Okay. Do we have a motion?
I'd like to
Wait a
make a
minute, I'm sorry,
motion.
Felicia, are you asking me?
No, I was just going to remind you that there's a couple of things behind your chair there. that-
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I'm aware of that.
I'd like to make a motion.
Okay, please.
I move that we appoint Dr. Kathleen Schaefer, resident of our service area in San Anselmo, as a member at large to the Central Marin Sanitation Agency Commission in accordance with the CMA SAJPA.
The second.
May we have a roll call?
Director Meigs,
Yes.
Director Silla,
Yes.
Director Kelly,
Yes.
Director Gaffney,
Yes.
Director Borstein.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. The motion passes. And with that, I would like to offer both Andrew and Kathy a little token of our esteem.
Tote bag of RC.
I was gonna say a spot on terminal.
All right, a tote bag. All right, thank you.
Sure, I'm glad
Goodies
Kathleen
inside.
came so I could get one of these.
Nice job,
Kathleen. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Okay, I'm very excited about that. That's going to be great. Let's move on to number 13, considering of adoption resolution number 26-1686 to adopt the Ross Valley Sanitary District fiscal year 26-27 final budget and consideration of adopting resolution 26-1687 establishing the annual appropriation limit for the budget fiscal year 2027.
Yes, well, I'll just say briefly that this is the normal annual process where we come in May and give the board a draft budget to consider, and then we take input and then do some refining between May and June, and then offer up a proposed final budget for the board's consideration each June for the forthcoming fiscal year. And so I'm going to quickly hand things off, but just say that, this year we did it maybe a little bit more work because we had some capital projects come in higher than we had budgeted and needed to sharpen our pencils a bit. And you heard a little preview of that last month because we were already starting to work on that. So I'm grateful to staff for quickly pulling things together. And then in the staff report, the third page of the staff report has a pretty detailed breakdown of things that were added and where we are relative to where we were in May. Instead of a $3 million, I don't know if the surplus is the right word, but $3 million went down to about $1.2 million excess funds. And so we don't have a whole lot of funds available to replenish the capital reserve, but we're intentionally putting that off for a year to get some priority capital work done, primarily in the Fairfax area, and that, as you've heard, is already getting underway. And so thanks to Victor and Felicia to make that transparently evident here in the board package, and then I'm going to hand things off to them to give you a presentation of this year's budget. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen. I'll just mention that I'm very pleased to show appreciation, especially to the finance manager, Victor Damiani, and all of the rest of staff who participate in this budget process, as well as the finance committee, who is very much involved in the development of the budget, and for another beautiful budget in brief document, which is also included in the packet. And with that, just to say another balanced budget presentation by Victor Damiani. Thank you.
Thank you, Felicia. Good evening to the president and members of the board. Steve kind of covered everything I was planning to cover because because this is our second look, and so really the main thing is just to look at what's changed since we took a detailed look in May. So as Steve pointed out on board packet page number 55, there's a detailed reconciliation of what we presented in May as opposed to what we have here for consideration of adoption. And the same point that Steve made, we went from what we thought was going to be a $3 million net revenue to $1.2 million. And then that therefore ended with our reserves not being funded quite as much as we thought they would be. So that's kind of where we stand. The good news is the emergency reserve is fully funded. The operating reserve is really nearly fully funded at 99%. But the capital reserve, we were not able to add any additional funds to the capital reserve this year. So I don't think we need to go through any of the other details unless there's questions.
Tom?
I'm not with you.
Okay, Michael?
No, I sit at the finance committee as a public and.
Are you on?
I was at the finance committee and it was covered by the finance committee. So thank you so much.
Okay. Do you have questions? No, Mayor doesn't. Pam, do you have questions? Pam? You're muted. You're muted.
The Fairfax Canyon project's going to be paid off, but I think is that in this number? I don't know. Anyway, that's the only thing. I was wondering it's going to end, when it's going to end, and we're talking about a party.
Thank you.
Steve,
Have we budgeted the party for Canyon Road?
Oh,
Yeah.
Canyon Road. That'll be September. That'll be the final payments in September.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I will mention on the GAN limit that we're well below the GAN limit again. That calculation is really meant for agencies that have more of a tax base than we do. We're mostly fee funded, so technically it applies to us, but in practical terms, it doesn't apply much. So we're 74%, I think, below, 84% below the limit.
Did Courtney put together the in brief?
She did.
Oh my gosh.
She did. Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah, it is. It's really great
Starting on
document.
board packet page 174. I mean,
And we will be making a printed publication for the board and distributed it when that's ready. After we make the final, edits to the full budget, we'll print both the budget and the budget in brief.
I love the water droplets on page 5. I mean, I feel like I see a lot of graphic things for organizations and such, and this is just great. I love the pipes on the back page. Anyway.
Well, she's for hire, Buell Creative.
Well, and it's gotten better. Like last year, I thought it was great.
She's this is her
Love
jam
it.
now. Yeah.
Okay. The numbers are fantastic.
No, that's what I was going to say.
The
graphics are nice, but really it's the numbers that matter, Victor. And you've done a fantastic
as
job.
someone who gets dragged through the finance things, yes, the numbers are great, but the graphics are cool too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
One of the comments I wanted to make is that we're also approving our appropriations limit, and often can be a problem for an agency. But since we pledge all of our property tax revenue to capital, then it's all excluded from the appropriation limit, and so our appropriation limit is we're over it by $8 million. We don't even have one because of that. And that's a real good policy to allocate our property tax for capital. I think that served us well. And we do get considerable property tax.
Okay, I'd point out board packet number page 82. 82, board packet 82. The wastewater flow. We're now at 42.28%, although Tom did the calculation by himself before the meeting and he came up with slightly different number. But at any rate, going from 4877, 4686 down to 42.2 is really a great example of the work that the team is doing underground on our horizontal property. And I want to just thank Paul and Phil and everybody that's working on this to get our district into a safer place and be more environmentally correct. So a lot of good work here.
Yeah, and it's a long-term thing. It's taken years for really to see any change in flow, and that's typical with the collection system.
Yep.
So,
But
this is that's a
very, very happy to
considerable
look at that
achievement.
chart. Okay, any other questions, comments? Nobody in the public?
I think
Anybody in
it's
the
a great
public?
job.
Nobody on the, okay.
Fabulous document.
Fabulous job, Phil. Victor, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I think you're going to be staying right there anyway, because the next one is considering adoption, the fiscal year 26,
We need
27.
to move that, though. We need to have.
I'm sorry. We do have to accept it.
Well, I'll make a motion.
Yeah.
We do
Great.
both together. I move that we adopt Resolution 26-1686 to adopt the Ross Valley Sanitary District's fiscal year 26-27 final budget, including the budget and brief document, and adopt Resolution 26-1687 to adopt the fiscal year 2027 budget appropriation limit. We can do
Second.
two resolutions at once.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Can we have a roll call?
A second.
Yeah, we did.
No,
I
she
said.
seconded.
Director Meigs,
Yes.
Director Silla,
Yes.
Director Kelly.
Yes.
Director Gaffney,
Yes.
Director Borstein.
Yes, please.
Thank you.
Okay. Still not going anywhere, are you?
Well, he's not the business plan
Oh,
guy.
okay. All right.
All
All right. So consideration of number 14, consideration of adopting the fiscal year 26-27 business plan. Steve?
Yes, thank you, President Kelly and board members. I want to, before I get started, acknowledge the work of the Business Plan Committee of the board that met earlier, or actually last month on May 11th. And we walked through this information in detail. There's a lot of information in this annual business plan item, as you know. One thing I did differently this year, each year I think I'm getting better at making it clear what we've completed, what we're still working on, what we're adding, and what are ongoing commitments. I feel like each time I think of ways to try to make it clear. But another thing I've done this year is actually I put the last year business plan in the board packet with all of the status updates for all of the objectives or tasks that we worked on this last year. And so I hope you had a chance to peruse that a little bit. It's not in great detail, but it gives you some detail in certain initiatives we're working on. For instance, let's say the lateral enforcement program. There's some specific information on how many letters have gone out and how many laterals have been fixed with property owner funds. So that's just one example. And so what I did with the business plan committee to help walk through all of this detail is really in the staff report, starting with where the yellow highlighting is. I emphasize that because it can get lost in a written report. But the first section is, what did we get done? What can we say? Okay, that work is complete. And there's a lot that we completed this last year. Under customer service and stakeholder understanding, we completed the update of the standard specs. There's a 5-year update. We coordinated with LAFCO looking at annexing and de-annexing parcels from the district. We completed that, working with Corte Madera, but I also looked at some San Rafael issues. We updated under employee and leadership development. We updated our culture-wise initiative, the RVSD way. We had our consultant come in September, and we revamped the program, added new fundamental behaviors to the program, and established the culture committee, which is a way that we recognize employee excellence through peer recognition, not management recognition. We did a no small task last month. We reviewed and updated the district personnel policies for board approval. That's done. Under enterprise resiliency, we updated the sewer system management plan. That's a requirement for our statewide collection system order with the state water board. We installed a new generator at Heather Gardens, and we applied for and received the award for the 2025 Worker Compensation Excellence Award. And then next page, under operational optimization, we completed the task of using our CMMS spill information, maintenance records, and condition data to refine our line cleaning frequencies and repair priorities. We said we were going to do it, and we did. And now the next part of the report talks about commitments we made that we didn't quite complete, but are still working on. One of them is participating in the discussions related to consolidation with JPA partner agencies. We're continuing to do that, but we can't say that the job is done. Similarly, under employee and leadership development, we're continuing to look at capabilities of our pump station crew and doing targeted training for personnel. And we're continuing to look at opportunities for staff cross training. And it's not just in the operational side of the house, but also a little bit examples of that going on in administrative as well. And these things may morph into ongoing commitments. You know, it's not this idea of cross training is not something that we're going to be, oh, we tried it once and we're done. It's more, we're exploring it, and now we discover, hey, you know, this really makes a lot of sense for the organization to do this. It creates resiliency. And so I predict this will migrate into our ongoing commitment, because something Paul, who's there in the audience, can attest to, you know, how it strengthens our ability as an organization to go forward and be resilient. So I wanted to get into a little detail with you all, just so you appreciate what we're working on and how the business plan reminds us and keeps us on track to continue to work on these things. Another thing that we haven't completed yet, we started, is to update the strategic plan. We're at the 10-year mark now. And so last year we said we were going to start working on it. We did hire the consultant, and we've begun the process of updating the strategic plan. We've looked at the next line is exploring the tracking system for permitting. We have hired the consultant, and we're working toward migrating to a new permit tracking system. The two other items underneath it relate to this permit tracking system. We're trying to integrate GIS and to have a little bit more at our fingertips way of retrieving property specific lateral records through our permit tracking and GIS system. It works okay now, but it's one of those things that we could improve. And then also looking at AI and large language models to create efficiency, kind of picking up what other utilities have done in terms of looking at old records and potentially using AI to efficiently make those records more electronic and searchable, and be operable from a data management standpoint. We also are continuing to work on the idea of optimizing energy use at pump stations. Really, pump stations for us as a collection system agency are the main event for energy use. And so this is something that Phil and Juliana are going to continue to be looking at. And then moving into new objectives, we took the board's direction a couple months ago to restart the San Quentin Village Sewer Maintenance District annexation, independent of the prison. We were asked to participate in the Alert Marin MOU, establishing agreement on the use of countywide alert and warning system. That's already been adopted, and but we will participate in it and keep you updated on how that's going this year. We wanted to recognize with the culture committee, we're doing a 3 times a year meeting to promote the culture-wise fundamentals and recognize employee participation. And under employee and leadership development, we're implementing a pilot college intern program, which you just approved in the consent calendar tonight. And we're doing conducting a classification study for unrepresented positions to make sure our tasks and job titles are aligned. Under financial viability and sustainability, we're continuing to look at ways to increase our S&P credit rating. We increased our Fitch credit rating this last year to AA plus, but we still are looking at the S&P and potentially refunding bonds as part of that. We are at the point of selling the property to a selected developer on Larkspur Landing. And so we're continuing to move toward that. As I heard earlier tonight, we're trying to get the development agreement established with them. And then we're also looking at financial software solutions potentially linked with the Tyler software that we have started the permit tracking software with. They're a viable finance software vendor that we're going to explore efficiencies that may be possible there. Nothing set yet, but that's something we're going to be looking at this year. I'm moving the data risk model into the driver's seat for our capital program. We had the IAMP from 2021. It served us well. But we've since used in-house work by Patrick Filippelli. It's almost like it's an AI machine learning exercise. In a nutshell, we have a lot of spills, recorded in our system. And so we use AI to explore what were the conditions before the spill. And that can help us predict the next spill because we have so much data on condition assessment and debris collection and other things and slope and position of the system. So we've actually developed a data risk model that's replacing the IMP model. And we're going to be implementing that this year. And that's something we might be able to share with other districts because it's not that complicated. But it's pretty neat the way we're using AI to predict where the next spill will be and use that to prioritize our capital work. And then moving right along, operation optimization. We both on our pump station and then following on, we'll look at line cleaning. 2 out of our 4 crews, we're using this data risk model, or I'm sorry, we're using the ArcGIS as a organizing software for ultimately our work order system. And so it takes away the middleman. You may remember we asked you about a year and a half ago to invest in ArcGIS as part of our vertical asset management. This is, a commitment, a continuation of that commitment. And we're beta testing the system right now with lines, with operations staff, pump station crew are testing our new system for work order that's based in ArcGIS and not in the CMMS. So we'll continue to keep you updated on that, but we're excited about it's very user friendly and it's going to help automate pump station maintenance work. And you might remember I always give the example of the fan at pump station 15, that it started making a lot of noise. It wasn't on our regular routine maintenance work order schedule. We had to investigate. We discovered there was grease on the fan. Well, if it had been part of our normal maintenance, we'd have gone out there and cleaned it every, so often, 9 months, 12 months, and prevented that noise problem. And so that's just one little example of all the things in a pump station that we should have on a regular maintenance list and not have to respond to when things get, noisy or, if odors come out or the other thing. So, it's making sure we don't let things fall through the cracks, and it's easier said than done. And we want to have our system kind of catch those things for us and program our work orders for us so that we don't miss things and just rely on people's memory. So we're excited about this system because this is another example of an innovation that we think other agencies can pick up on and save a lot of software costs with CMMS by going straight to Esri and GIS to organize their work geographically. So more to come on that, but that's a new thing we're working on. So we wanted to just capture that in the business plan as one of our initiatives. I know that was long, but I think Tom, board member Gaffney, you can thank him for that. He wanted to get more detail of the business plan in the board meeting, so I'm following his suggestion. And feel free to let me know if you don't need that much detail in the future. But that's my synopsis. I appreciate your attention to all these things and happily answer any questions about some of these details in the business plan.
Michael, no. Tom, no. Pam, you were on.
That was exciting. I learned some things. I appreciated it. As the Pump Station 15 Sentinel, I'm happy to know it's heard.
Okay, there's no public. All right. Any public here? Want to talk? Okay. Can I have a
We
motion?
adopt the district's fiscal year 2026-27 business plan.
I'll second.
Can I have a roll call, please?
Director Makes,
Yes.
Director Silla,
Yes.
Director Kelly,
Yes.
Director Gaffney,
Yes.
Director Borstein.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. Number 15 is consideration of adopting resolution 26-1688, approving the salary and benefit schedule for unrepresented employees of the district and approving the complete salary schedule for fiscal years 26-27.
Yeah, great. This is an annual process. I know it's confusing, so we always remind the board in June that we do a 5-year MOU with the represented employees, but we need to update the agreement with the unrepresented employees every year. Bye to everybody. Everybody's leaving. Thanks for listening to the business plan thing. So I want to hand this over to Felicia to introduce this item. She and Christine have been working on this, and you did hear about it last week, I think, at the special meeting. You heard a little bit about this, but this is bringing it all together, and it's been at the Human Resource Committee as well. Felicia?
Yes, that's right. Thank you, Steve. This is an annual event as part of the budget process that the board has adopted, and it's the salary and benefits resolution for unrepresented employees. You'll see a red line of the changes from last year's resolution. There are a couple of minor edits that we've discussed. For example, in the enhanced employee benefit program, enhanced retiree medical benefits, rather, an edit to the North Bay, referring to the health insurance is available in the North Bay. There's some edits related to changing days of leave to hours of leave in alignment with the change from the 40-hour work week to the 980 schedule that the district has been observing since October of last year. And the COLA for all employees and the unrepresented employees are captured in the resolution here of 4.3%, which is based on the April to April CPI of 3.8% plus 0.5%, which brings it to 4.3, and that's also included in the budget for the year. And then lastly, the change to this resolution over the last year's resolution is an inclusion of an employee commuter benefit. There are two captured here. One is an incentive program, a tax deferred program for employees who use alternative commuter transportation, carpool, bike, public transportation, et cetera. And then the second is a 1-year program to offset the inflationary costs of commuting. The combined benefit offering to the unrepresented employees in the salary and benefits resolution is to be no more than $450 per employee per year. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions. I did try to capture the board's direction and the edits that were made in the resolution. Hopefully I did that satisfactorily, and if not, please let me know. Yeah.
No, it says for fiscal year 26-27, so it makes it very clear that the second commuter benefit is temporary.
You had questions or no?
I have a
No.
question.
Sure.
Felicia, did you find other agencies, quite a few or some that are doing the same thing?
There are many agencies that have a commuter benefit for employees who take public transportation or alternative modes of transportation. This augmented benefit, I heard colloquially that there are some other agencies that have similar additional benefit programs such as this one, but nothing specific.
Well, I think it's fabulous. And the word will spread, and it's such a sign of the times, but a great idea. Thanks for however you found it. Thanks.
Yeah, it was a suggestion originally came through the unrepresented employees through Victor, in fact. But it was there are many of our employees who commute. The tolls have gotten quite a bit expensive, and then as everybody's experienced, or everybody with a gas-powered vehicle anyway, has experienced that the cost of gas has really shot up recently. So thank you for that, Director Meggs.
Michael.
No, we discussed it
Okay.
in multiple different places. It's
Okay.
wonderful.
All right. Then can I have a motion?
I'll move that we adopt resolution number 261688, approving the salary and benefit resolution for the unrepresented employees of the district and approve the complete salary schedule for the fiscal year 26-27, which we need to do anyway.
Second.
Can we have a roll call, please?
Director Meggs,
Yes.
Director Silla,
Yes.
Director Kelly,
Yes.
Director Gaffney,
Yes.
Director Borstein.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, next to the consideration of electing board officers, representatives, and committee members for fiscal 26-27. Is there how do we want to do this? You want to do them all at once? Like, isn't that how we've been juicing it?
We want to do them all at once.
Yeah, okay.
Make nominations.
So the first one is for the CMSA commissioners. And
Let's do the president and the secretary on that.
okay, well, wait a minute. Oh, okay. So the president, I would nominate Tom Gaffney.
No, I'm going to nominate Michael. I nominate Michael. Yeah, I don't want to do it. So let's do Michael.
Okay.
Because I think it was your,
All
yeah.
right. What are you, okay, so we all can I have a,
No, we're going to.
we'll do it at the end.
Unless somebody else wants.
Secretary?
So any other nominations? I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Secretary?
I'll do secretary if nobody wants it. I'll take it.
Pam's willing to do it again. I'm
Like to do second.
Okay,
Sure.
Pam.
I'd be fine with that. Okay. Treasurer?
No.
Okay. Let's have Tom do that. That's fine. I'm fine with that. CMS commissioners, I would move Andrew and Kathleen Schaefer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I would like for us to, I'd like to be removed from the list of alternates. I no longer need to be an alternate to CMSA.
Who doesn't?
I would like to no longer be an alternate.
Okay. So you're not, you're fired.
I keep getting emails about the ethics training from
But you're not
Tiffany.
on it. You weren't?
I'm getting email. I'm an alternate. I don't even want to be an alternate.
It doesn't say you're an alternate.
Yes,
see?
it does. It's right here.
Oh, there.
So,
does everybody else still want to be alternates? Do you want
I'll
to
stay on as an alternate.
Okay.
I don't care.
You want to be an alternate.
And we'll make Michael an alternate. Okay.
And Michael,
Okay.
but not Mary.
Okay. All right. And so that's fine. CSRMA.
That goes to CASA, so that's
I don't know
Michael.
why there's a noise. I think it might be.
Okay.
I can do that again. It's a nothing.
Pamela, do you want to be a CSRMA alternate?
I know, but he had that tilted really close to his ear. So.
Yeah, that's fine. Just leave it as is.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
NBWA board member. Shall we leave that as is?
Sure.
Okay. Standing Finance Committee, Tom Gaffney and Michael Bornstein.
Yes.
Okay. Standing HR, Mary. And I'll step in with you if that's okay. All right. Are you getting these down? Felicia? Okay. Standing Education and Outreach, Pam, do you want to still do that?
Yeah, sure.
Anybody want to do it? If not,
No, you enjoy that. Doug.
all right,
Go for
keep
it.
that the same. Annual Business Plan, Pam, do you want to do that?
Well, you know,
Sure.
Huh?
I would like to be on that one.
Okay. All right.
That way he'll get
You
that
wanna be-
information about it that he wants.
What?
I'd like to be on that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you'd like to be on that, and who would like to join? Business,
On what? Wait, where are you?
huh?
Where are you? What's,
Business plan?
oh, Doug, do you want it? I'll stay on it if you,
I would do it. It's, coming, wrapping it up in my career.
it's,
Why don't you-
okay.
Okay. All right, so it'll be Tom and Doug.
Tom and Doug.
Ad hoc interpretive sign committee, we still doing that?
If needed.
All right,
As needed.
leave
yeah.
it the same. Ad hoc consolidation committee is Andrew, let's leave him on.
Okay.
Sure.
And I'd like to make that with compensation.
We had a question about that. I asked about that yesterday. Go ahead.
Well, we can,
Wait, hold.
So my understanding of this consolidation committee is that this would actually be a committee of CMSA, not of Ross Valley. And so I believe CMSA does compensate commissioners for committee attendance. The other issue, if this were to be considered a Ross Valley committee, there's specific statutory authorization under 6489 of the Health and Safety Code that specifically says that directors of the legislative body of a district may be compensated for meeting attendance. And because Andy is an at-large representative for CMSA, he is not a director and therefore not eligible for compensation under the statute. But that's separate from the main point, which I believe this should be actually considered a committee of CMSA, not of Ross Valley.
I thought the last thing we wanted was to have it be a CSNA committee. Didn't we want to have an independent committee?
Yeah, I think I just would make a point of clarification that it would be staffed by LAFCO rather than CMSA. So I don't know if, strictly speaking, it would be a CMSA committee.
That's fair. Maybe I misspoke in that it's not a CMSA committee, but it's also not an RVSD committee.
Okay. Well, then how can we compensate on that, to your knowledge?
There's,
Well, that would be CMSA.
well,
She'll get compensated with CMSA.
if LAFCO is the organizing entity of this committee, perhaps there's a LAFCO policy for compensating committee members, but that's outside. There's no basis for Ross Valley Sanitary District to compensate Andy for attending. There's a prohibition of gifting public funds issue, and because Andy's not an employee and is serving on a voluntary basis, that there could be complications there.
Right. Thank you. Okay.
I can
All right.
just offer an analogy, which might be helpful. It was helpful to me anyway. When you think about a municipal government, the city council members are compensated for their contributions to the legislative activities of the city, but the planning commission isn't, the
I know.
park and recreation committee.
I served on that 8 years.
So similar to that, those are volunteer positions and not compensable for their
Okay.
time.
All right. Can we make a motion to accept the nominations as we did?
I move that we accept everything as we discussed, and Felicia has it.
I'll second.
And Tom has seconded to that. So can we have a roll call, please?
Director Meigs,
Yes.
Director Silla,
Yes.
Director Kelly,
Yes.
Director Gaffney,
Yes.
Director Borstein.
Yes.
Thank you.
Answer twice. Okay. Paul, come on up. Monthly operations and metrics report.
Yeah, we had a little hum going on. Good evening, President Kelly, distinguished board, council, and staff. Thank you for your time, as always. Staff completed back safety and proper lifting mechanics training through the district's web-based safety program, Target Solutions. And that was to reinforce correct lifting posture, safe body mechanic techniques. And the course supports the district's ongoing injury prevention efforts by increasing staff awareness and promoting consistent, safe lifting protocols. So trying to make sure everybody's limber and ready to go out there in the field with all the heavy work they're doing. So it's really important training we do every year.
Can we turn your mic on?
Can you not hear
Got
me?
turned off.
No, I turned it back on.
Yes.
You got it? Yep. Okay. We need a taller one.
Is it on?
Pump crew. As you guys will remember, in last February, we had a low level float that failed at pump station 15, which created a low level lockout situation in the PLC, which is the electronic controls of the station. And it would, even though the power was on, the generators were running, everything was ready to go, the computer part of the brain of the station would not let the station run. So we've partnered with controls integrator, advanced integration and controls to
AIC. Yeah.
AIC to review the PLC program and do some edits to make sure we can delete that out of the program so it doesn't happen again. And through that, we decided, well, we should probably look at our other major stations. So we went and did some testing at 12, 13, and 14. And all the other stations, those three all have that in the control logic as well. So it's really important to make sure everything's on the same page. So we're going to go ahead and have all those PLC programs re-updated so that we can eliminate this deficiency in the future. So we're in the progress of getting that done right now, and hopefully get that done in July.
Do lift stations not have that problem?
15.
The lift stations.
Oh, the lift stations, no, they're smaller. So,
Okay.
yeah. They're not.
Yeah, thanks. This is a big deal. We found this out, and we were so fortunate that we did the capital project on Stadium Way, where we disconnected laterals from the trunk and created that fly line. We did that the previous summer, and so we only head off a potential disaster because of this logic problem. By 8 months or so. Doug, I bring this up because you could say the same for this Fairfax project. We need to get it in there and in advance of the next wet season, which might be the one that would have caused the sewage flood in downtown Fairfax, and so this is an actual example of getting a capital project in before, a problem occurred that we really had no way of foreseeing. This logic programming, it isn't evident until it actually something happens, and then we have to unpack it. You see, we're relying on professionals to program it correctly, and they programmed it incorrectly, not only at pump station 15, but now we've learned at these other pump stations as well. It was a programmer defect.
Yeah, that was a
human error.
Telstar carryover.
You would have heard
It was a human error, like, programming bad logic into your logic controller. And so
Tom, I could see my bathtub. When I heard about when Steve asked me, I went and looked in my downstairs bathtub, and I could see there was a little backup, a very little backup.
Really?
Yeah. I'm the low point, at least. Yeah. And that was in February. So that was after all the.
Why don't we
trunk
just
line
put
work.
a flow thing on?
Exactly.
Your bathtub?
Well, once upon a time, I would call Randall and say, there's a problem here.
Yeah, so it's going to be a big improvement, and give everybody a peace of mind that we know the controls are under control, and we got it all straightened out. So it's in the works.
Yeah, and this is a great story because we responded so well on a holiday weekend in the middle of the night on the Sunday, and our guys were braced under pressure. The whole system was shut down. It was stormy conditions in February. We didn't have much time. Cool heads prevailed, and then we got through that, and then we really did dodge a bullet. But thanks to our staff's response is really the key. And now we're learning this lesson, and I'm just glad that it wasn't a spill event that caused a technical report that caused us to change things. This was just our very capable and responsive and responsible operations staff. Giant kudos. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve, and good timing on the capital project too.
Paul, how just the past few days in Riviera Circle with the king tides, where they've had the roads closed?
We didn't have one high level alarm.
Okay.
And just so you know, I did check in with the city of Larkspur before those king tides to ensure the baffles and screens and everything. Their project was completed over there, and we had no lasting effect from any of the king tides. So good news.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Line maintenance, staff worked with the previously approved Duke's root control over a 3-week period to apply root foam treatment to 195 pipes. We had staff working directly with them to make sure that we had good homeowner communication for access issues. There were a couple of people that were a little weary about having subcontractors in their yards, but we had a senior collection system worker with the contractors, talked to the homeowners, and got it all completed within 3 weeks. And then Pam, just so you know, we did talk to the treatment plant. There were no effects or anything that popped up on the radar after we were done. So environmentally, we are good to go. And we look forward to seeing the progress and improvements that we did from the last round. The repair crew completed a replacement of 4 out of 7 cast iron manhole frame and cover assemblies on the which are a new lightweight composite on units on Boardwalk 1 in Larkspur. These manholes are raised about 4 to 5 feet in the marsh, so staff were actually having to go out and lift the metal covers off above their head and stuff, another injury waiting to happen. So just through some initiative from our repair crew, we were going and putting in lightweight fiberglass ones now that they can lift off easily. It wasn't an easy job. Everything has to be carried out by hand. You see here in the description, there's one even under the house's deck. So it complicates the issue out there for line maintenance. So we're going to finish up the rest in the next month or so, and just to make sure we can prevent injuries for staff and make the work site as safe as possible for everybody.
That's a good one.
Are they heavy so that they don't pop off if there's a backup? And so,
and for traffic as well, because usually have a big truck, sometimes they'll bounce and pop off. If we get noise complaints, that's usually from a loose manhole lid.
so if they're lighter, are they going to pop off? Or are they?
You bolt them on, don't
They're
you?
affixed?
They have a locking mechanism on them. Yeah.
And are they smart? Are they smart lids so that we actually know?
They're not on. We can install them on them if we need to.
I'm just curious.
Yeah,
Thank you.
no, we can mount the smart cover sensors in those if we feel
wanted to.
the need. We usually will do it for INIs or high level alarms, but that area is not too bad.
I see.
So
Paul, let's get back to the one before that. On the line maintenance on Woodside Wade in Ross, have you done the lateral die test yet?
yes, and sent out a notification of repair already.
Okay, so they've got to replace their lateral
Yes,
or repair it.
or dig it up and do a spot repair at the minimum.
Fine. Okay, thank you. All right, what's going on? Keep going.
Yep. And then the repair crew, we already went through that one. Condition assessment. During CCTV inspections, staff identified substantial rock and grit accumulation in a trunk sewer main on Laurel Avenue and McAllister Avenue. This is a 16-inch pipe, and it's right after a siphon, and the system actually kind of makes a hard right-hand turn there. So we believe, this is a 3-year pipe clean. We believe over time, just the change in velocity has been depositing some gravel and grit in that area. So it took us a couple days to clear it all out. 16-inch line, we couldn't get a camera through it. So it was about 2/3 full of rock. Spent a couple days clearing all that out, and it reviewed the system upstream, downstream to look for any major defects, figure where the debris is coming from. We can't find anything. So like we said, we believe it could be from lateral projects. It could be from past CIP projects.
Well, you have to go back and see if it's happening again.
And that's what we're going to do in about 6 to 8 months. We'll go back and take a look. In the meantime, we have changed it from a 3-year to a 2-year schedule to make sure we're on top of it. But a really good find by staff who stuck with it for, like I said, 3 days, day after day, cleaning buckets of rock and grit out. So we'll keep an eye on it, but it was a really good catch by the CCTV crew and a good collaboration with line maintenance. And with that, May was a no spill month. Yay. And if you guys have any questions, I'd be happy to answer any.
Well, it's always fun to comment on the flow information. The next page, board packet 269. And, this is the one where the composite is about 42 point something %. We hope it's a permanent situation, but it might be because of a dry year.
Well, I'd like to get back to the 38.
Well, that's our dry weather.
We're working on it. Repair crew found another I&I manhole. Water was just squirting in from the mouth of a manhole, probably 60 gallons a minute. So we're going to go and grout that here pretty soon. So we're really keeping an eye on any I&I that's popping up during
Where
the
was
summer.
that?
And I think we'll see some changes after the Fairfax project
Oh,
is
I
done as
guarantee
well.
it.
Really, yeah.
Where was that I&I?
I'd have to look. I'll let you know.
We always want to know where things are. I don't know why.
Yeah.
No, you don't have to do that.
It'll be
but-
in next month
No,
because
I
it
think
just
it's part of the
happened.
cool.
I see.
That's what you'd lose if you had a big consolidation, by the way. You know, you would, the board wouldn't know every neighborhood. It's a disadvantage.
It might not matter.
Okay.
If this staff is running, it doesn't really matter. We're just asking because we're curious. I mean, but yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, with that, I'm adjourning the regular meeting. The next meeting is July 15th, 2026 at 5 p.m. right here, same bat time, same bat room.
Thank you, Paul.
Good night, Steve.
Good night.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks for letting me attend remotely. I appreciate it.